What's up, family, and welcome back to the channel. I'm taking a quick lunch break while at work. My schedule got all flipped around this morning, and so I ended up having to be at a meeting very early this morning. There was some changes at our company, so my whole schedule got flipped side up, flipped turned upside down, all that good stuff. But I still wanted to make sure that I jumped in and did a little video for today, and I definitely had something in mind that I wanted to talk about, and I think this is going to be good. And for the sake of the time, we're going to go ahead and jump straight in this. Now, of course, if you haven't already, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that alert notification button, and consider joining, supporting, or connecting with this community channel or content in any way that makes sense for you. And then, of course, share this video. I mean, the more you share, the more we grow, the more of an impact we make. And then last but not least, we have some incredible merch out there, man. And it's growing daily. So check out our merch and check out our books. Get something that brings some type of value to your life while also helping you spread value to others and create value in this vision or this mission rather, of building community beyond superstition. Speaking of which, I'm already in the topic of today's conversation. So many of you have seen me kind of announcing and talking about. I mean, we've talked about it on every video, every pre-recorded video, in our live sessions. We've been talking about it, and that is these events that we have coming up this year called BridgeCity Weekends, where we're going to. Our plan is go to several cities. Starting with Raleigh, North Carolina, go to several cities and actually bring what we've been crafting as this BridgeCity global experience to these different cities. And so I wanted to take some time to kind of walk you through the why, the how, the what, the when, the who's, and all the other questions and Dr. Seuss things that comes to people's mind when you hear about something like this, because this is something that we're incredibly excited about. So let's kind of jump into it. So to start is, for those of you who are unfamiliar with our Sunday and Wednesday, our live content, we are building an experimental community, if you will, called BridgeCity Global. We have members at this moment all across the globe. This year, we're going to be focusing on places in the States. It would be amazing if next year we can start hitting some places in Canada, in South America, even if you're down for it, in Africa, because we have so many over there. And I mean, it would only be right in Australia, even in the UK, European Union. However that works, like we have right now, we have people kind of everywhere, and so we're doing our best to continue to build on that momentum. And so the name of that experimental community is BridgeCity Global, BridgeCity for short. And our mission is to build community beyond superstition. I mean, if you're familiar with my channel, then that shouldn't be too much of a shocker for you, right? Because that's kind of the whole thing, to be progressive thinking, people centric, and life affirming. I think it's kind of I think it kind of oozes off of all of our content. But the big ideal here is to build community where people can thrive, grow, and support one another, free from superstition and the constraints of deities, dogmas, or doctrines, right? And so, and I guess some people are calling it a tour, and I guess you could call it a tour, but in my mind, it's more of a campaign, right? This isn't BridgeCity Weekends tour does look good from a marketing perspective, and that is some of my background. But from a marketing perspective, BridgeCity Weekend tours looks really good. From urban centric marketing, like, oh man, I can just see it. But in my mind, this is actually more of a campaign. And our campaign focus is to accelerate the development of communities that prioritize people, well-being, and human connection. Some of the major components of what we do as a community is we cultivate progressive thinking conversations, we celebrate people-centric community, and we craft life-affirming celebrations. And that's really what we want to take. We want to take that experience from just being online and really start showing people what that looks like in real time. And so that's really one of those main goals of these BridgeCity Weekends, is to create an entire weekend of progressive thinking conversations, people-centered community, and life-affirming celebrations. We desire to have a good time with all this stuff now. But in a world increasingly divided, our aim is to build spaces where human connection, support, and progress are at the heart of what we do, because I think that's how we can make just a tangible impact. All right, so I've talked about mission. I've talked about our kind of campaign focus. And so that even if we do lean into the marketing of tour, because I mean, it still is technically a tour, but if we lean into that marketing, I want everybody who supports this community to understand that this is really more of a campaign. And I think that's probably the differentiator between what we're doing and what a typical tour is, because a typical tour is you show up and then you move on. And that's not our goal. Our goal is to show up, meet people, identify support, and start investing in community in those areas. So I'll talk a little bit about our methodology before going too much further. And the methodology is really to model the BridgeCity Global Weekend experience in target cities, right? And so for the and I'll highlight. I'm going to give you as much information as I can in this video, right? But so we're going to take what we see as the BridgeCity Global Weekend experience, and we're gonna pack that thing out, right? So right now it's typically Sunday sessions, and sometimes it's ex-pastor call-in show. But we're gonna do Bible study with an ex-pastor. We're gonna do the Sunday sessions, and we're gonna do ex-pastor call-in show, which allows us to be inclusive of other people, so that it's not like just a one-trick pony, but there's gonna be multiple voices there. And not only do we have those shows, but we are also bringing in some other speakers to share some things that are going to be really powerful and really valuable to building community, sustaining community, as well as personal growth and development as well. Because at the end of the day, we're people centric, right? Yes, I am an atheist, but as an atheist, it only informs you of what it is that I don't accept, or what it is that I don't believe, or what it is that I don't attach myself to. But the movement that we're building is not atheist centric. It's really hard to center things around atheism itself. It's people centric. It's humanism. If you've been in some of our Sunday sessions, you've probably heard me say, and we got to put this on a shirt now, it's the people, stupid. At the end of the day. So that's really the goal, is to build these people-centric experiences in these local cities so that we can accelerate, again, the development of community. So the target cities right now, and some of you have already heard these, but in April, the goal, April 19th and April 20th, the goal is Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, those dates are tentative. Those are the dates I prefer. It could be the week before, it could be the week after, but right now, those are the dates that we're aiming for, and for some really good reasons, which I'll jump into in another video. But again, so Raleigh, North Carolina, Detroit, Michigan. I'm sorry, did I say that right? Yeah, Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, California, and Los Angeles, California. And we didn't just like pull some names out of a hat here. We've been very diligent and intentional about communicating with our community members and our audience, asking where people are supporting us from, where they're watching us from. And we've been collating that data, if you will, collating or coalescing. I like it all. Curating that data, gathering it together, and putting it on a map and seeing where we have the strongest hubs at, so that we could be ready to like get in there and see if we can build something. And so, but now, ever since we've started announcing these, we've also had more people reaching out to us from the state of Georgia, from the state of Texas, and even the state of New Mexico. And what I'm really excited about for the New Mexico one is that we kind of have somebody in that area that we're partnering with to take on a more visible role. And so we may see some things getting accelerated there. And as of now, that person is scheduled to be at the BridgeCity Weekends event in Raleigh. So that's going to be really, really exciting. And I will be bringing more information to you about who all of these different speakers are going to be. Because again, and it's not just speakers that we're bringing together. Well, I'll get into this. I'll get into it. All right, so now let me talk a little bit about our strategy. So I've given us a lot, right? We've talked mission, we've talked methodology, we've talked a little bit about the why. I want to talk about strategy. Our strategy, which is the thing that we're working to do now and that we've been working to do for the past year, is really just to earn the support of our global community in support of local community, right? And the beautiful thing about that is that's not something that's a really hard pull for us. It's not a hard sell because so many people who are a part of our global community are a part of our global community because they value local community. And so that's really a major part of our strategy is supporting number one, the desire of our online community to have local community, and then reminding them how us making it happen anywhere empowers us to make it happen everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So the more we get started, which is why even if you're not able to come to the Raleigh event, I need you to get invested in whatever way that you can, right? Whether that investment for you is volunteering to make phone calls for us, whether that investment for you is volunteering to do some administrative stuff, whether that investment for you is financial. You say, I'm going to commit a certain amount because I want this thing to happen. There are more than one ways. I was going to say more than one way to skin a cat, but that just sounds so antiquated. So there are more than one ways to contribute. There's more than one ways to add value. And by far and large, I am really not expecting people to have to travel hours and hours to come to this event because the goal is it's not supposed to be an event. It's supposed to be a community catalyst and it's supposed to be on its way to your area, right? But if you can help in any way with Raleigh, then that's going to make an incredible difference. The more successful that the Raleigh event is, the more momentum is going to build behind it. And like, oh my goodness, I already see this kind of becoming explosive, but I live by a very one of my simple creeds that I live by is judge nothing before it's time. So even though I'm super excited, I don't necessarily attach myself to outcomes the way that other people do, but I do attach myself to possibilities, and so I know that there is great possibility in this. So the first part of the strategy is just getting the support of our global community, and I mean that's you and people like you who support our content, who subscribe, who participate in our Sunday sessions, our call-in shows, and then our secular Bible study. And then people who are just like, holy shit, I've been waiting for more from you guys. And this is the more that I've been waiting on. This is my clarion call to get involved. Like this is it. And so this is one of the ways that I'm doing that, other than building community in Discord, is sacrificing some time to actually have this conversation with those who are concerned, with those who are passionate, and with those who are ready to get in the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's part of the strategy. The other part of the strategy is to organize and mobilize our supporters that are already in those areas, right? So we're already building communications with people who are in Raleigh, with people who are in Detroit, with people who are in Chicago. Like we got so many in the Chicago and Detroit area that it's amazing. One of our biggest media support people is in the Chicago area. We have so much support in Portland, San Francisco, and LA. And so the goal is really to organize and mobilize our supporters in those areas. And so listen, if you're in any of those areas, you don't have to wait until it's a few months before we're coming to your area to get involved, to get started, and even the sooner we can get the planning processes started for the later events, the better, right? But yes, a major part of this strategy is organizing and mobilizing our supporters and the people who identify with this mission of building community beyond superstition, that is progressive thinking, people centric, and life affirming, that is going to value human well being and human connection over deity's dogma or doctrines. For people who are passionate about that, we want to find those people and help them get mobilized. And so if that's you, if you're in any of those areas, and please hear me well, even if you're in an area that's not on our list for this year, do what those people in Georgia and Texas and New Mexico have started doing. Let us know. Damn it, I need to add Missouri to the list, right? I need to add St. Louis and Kansas City. I don't know, because we have some people in those areas. But so that's the second part of the strategy, is get those people organized and mobilized. And so if that's you, the biggest way you could help is jump into our Discord, get connected to our Discord, which the link is in the description. Get connected to our Discord And when you introduce yourself with the city that you're from and let us know that you want to help. We have some really passionate people on our team who will be more than happy to reach out to you ASAP and start getting you in the game, right? And then that third part of that strategy is really to partner with local secular groups to strengthen people-centric networks and visibility, right? And that's one of the things that attracted us to Raleigh. Like we were back in like Raleigh and the Charlotte area, they already have so many secular communities that are active there, and that are trying to build something. And so I think the momentum of our community, combined with my 2 decades of experience in building community facing type of organizations, combined with the legacy, the history, the knowledge of those secular organizations, we can create something in these Bridge City weekend events that doesn't just empower the work that my community is trying to do, but that empowers the work that all secular communities in these areas are trying to do. Because at the end of the day, we are stronger together. This is one of the things, like we had a leadership meeting last night, and this is one of the things that I'm constantly reminding people, that we don't have to mirror outdated ways. We don't have to mirror outdated modalities. We can work together. We can build together. We don't have to become competitive, because honestly, the moment we start getting competitive against each other as opposed to complementary towards each other, we're floating back towards those dogmatic places. And I'd like to avoid that at all fleets. So we know there's a secular assembly there. We know the SSA is active there. We plan with we plan to do everything we can to partner with every secular organization that is already in the Raleigh and Charlotte area, and that triangle area. Every organization that is in that area and every area that we go to, right? To make sure that we are increasing the visibility of secular community as a whole, right? And that's part of the reasons why we call ourselves Bridge City. We don't exist to be the paramount. We don't exist to be the best of the best. That's not our modality. We exist to be the bridge. We exist to be a better way to connect. I hope that makes sense for somebody. All right. And so at the end of the day, we're calling on you to help make this vision a reality by getting involved today. Whether you're in Raleigh, Detroit, Portland, or anywhere in between, you can help us grow these communities by joining, volunteering, and even donating if that's something that fits your budget. All right. So I've hit some basics. I want to share a little bit more because I want to whet your appetite. I want you to fully understand, because when you're out getting other people excited about this, and when you're thinking like, damn, I think I might want this in my area, I want you to know exactly what it is that we're talking about in as much detail as I can in this little brief video. But then, of course, when you join our Discord, we do have documents in there that you can get access to that gives you a lot more information about Bridge City, what our teams look like, and how we're planning on making a difference, and how you can be a part of that difference. But what I really want to hit here, because the Sunday sessions are really one of the biggest things of Bridge City weekends, I wanted to kind of hit the hallmark of our Bridge City Sunday sessions, even as we're still building out that experience. And at the end of the day, and I'm excited to say this because this is the most simplified way that I've ever been able to say it, so I'm a little amped about it. It may be anticlimactic for you, but I'm amped, right? And that is the hallmark of Bridge City conversations. Bridge City Sunday sessions is music and conversations. That's the hallmark. Like, and so you're going to get a lot of that at Bridge City weekends. You're going to get a lot of music, and you're going to get a lot of conversations. Bridge City Sunday sessions combine the power of music and thought-provoking conversation to create an environment where you can reflect, learn, and grow while participating. These sessions focus on important secular themes like personal development and social change, offering a space where music and dialogue intersect, where art and dialogue can intersect to inspire new ideas and cultivate personal and collective growth. It's a chance to connect spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually in an environment that fosters inclusivity and growth. Like, I don't know, like I get excited about that stuff, but maybe that's just because I love people and I love, like, I mean, if y'all have been around me long enough, you realize like I have a very simple strategy. Like this is my simple strategy. If we can create environments that help people get healthier, then that's going to help relationships get healthier. And then that's going to help outcomes get healthier. You know what I'm saying? So anything that leads to creating space that helps people feel safe enough to grow, oh my goodness, I get excited about that. You know what I'm saying? I might have to take something from Forrest Valcott. Oh my glob, that excites me. That we can create space where people feel safe enough to explore themselves, to learn, and to grow without the need to appeal to superstition, without the need to minimize their humanity, without the need to minimize our natural and materialistic experience with the world around us, but to be able to learn and grow in support and in truth and our understanding of that truth together. Like, that's beautiful to me. I think that that's a world that I've always been looking for. And that's why I've committed myself to say, you know what, damn it, Darante, we're not going to wait on that world. We're going to be a part of what brings that into existence. And I know, like, damn it, I want to say I believe by faith, if you will, but I know that there are others out there who have to share that commitment. As a matter of fact, no, I know it. I know it for a fact because I have some of those people already on our team. There are some of those people already partnering with us, and that's absolutely fucking amazing to me because I'm going to talk my fucking talk. All right. I hope your appetite is getting wet a little bit. Your appetite. I said appetite. Hey. All right. So let's talk about what the features or the tentative features of a BridgeCity weekends are, because again, these things grow as the communities grow, and they change with the different locations. But the basic features of a BridgeCity weekend event is, number one, there's definitely going to be community hangouts and networking. We're going to do our best not to pack out every moment with just talking, right? With just talk sessions. We want to make sure there's plenty of space for people to actually meet each other. So whether you're seeking new friendships, professional connections, or a supportive community, these hangouts are going to provide a relaxed environment for making authentic connections. You'll be able to network with people who value personal growth, well-being, and a secular approach to life, and strengthen your local community ties at the same time. Like, we're so adamant about making sure we can include these aspects throughout the entire event that we may move this event from being 2 days to being 3. Y'all tell me what you think. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. We're just trying to be as considerate as possible to squeeze as much in as we can to make sure there are as many diverse voices involved as we can. Like, I'm telling you right now, and I think now, I talked a little bit about competition earlier, but no, I think this is something everybody should compete with BridgeCity in. BridgeCity is going to purposefully try to be the most diverse of everything that exists in the secular community. That's a goal. That's a goal. And I would not be mad if any of the other secular organizations said, you know what? Nope, we're going to beat them at that. I mean, hey, you got a fucking head start. Back to my notes. All right, so the second part, not the second part, because these aren't necessarily in order, but another thing is the secular Bible study with the next pastor. You're going to have the secular Bible study with the next pastor. We're still going to do our super chat Q&A. But this isn't about adhering to any specific faith, but it's about asking questions, challenging ideas, while also exploring the rich cultural and historical context of these texts. And of course, like I always say, it's the tagline for Bible study with the next pastor. We're going to learn the Bible seriously, and we're going to laugh at the bullshit seriously. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do both. And we're going to have fun doing both. But then we'll also be doing our super chat Q&A, where you'll have the opportunity, whether you are in the audience or watching online, to still interact in real time, ask questions, and learn from others in a community that fosters intellectual growth and personal insight and freedom. But then also house parties. House parties are something that I've been planning for years. And then I recently found out that Drew Beckius, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I feel like it might be Beckwis. And so I'm going to ask him. I haven't talked to him in a while, but like vocal chart. And it's a weird question to ask him, like, hey, bro, how do you pronounce your name? It's not that weird. I do it every day at work But when you do it with people you like and you're supposed to know, you're just like, damn, I feel like the time has passed when I should have asked this question, you know. But anyway, Drew does an amazing job of doing these post faith house parties. And so I'm going to be doing my best to partner with him. I know there's a conflict schedule for the first one, but we're still doing the house parties because they've been a part of the BridgeCity strategy ever since we started kind of putting this vision together. And it's just one of those things that can help us stand out and create space. And so house parties are more than just a good time. They're a chance to celebrate being a part of a vibrant community. You can join us for informal, joyful gatherings where we come together to relax, socialize, and and share in the joy in a space that is free from religious expectations. And that means everything you think it means. Maybe. I don't know what some of y'all be thinking though. But these parties are ultimately they offer a chance for people of all ages let me change that back. For people of all adult ages to unwind, have fun, and deepen connections in a safe, inclusive environment. But another staple of BridgeCity weekend events, and of course, as I said, the hallmarks of BridgeCity Sunday sessions is music and conversation. So all field musical experiences. Music is a universal language that brings people together. Our all field musical experiences are designed to evoke emotion, celebrate life, and create shared moments of joy in that collective effervescence. Whether you're enjoying live performances or participating in community driven music events, these experiences promote mental well being, creativity, and a sense of belonging. It's not just entertainment, it's a way to connect with the deeper rhythms of life in a collective setting. And then obviously, we're going to be having community development conversation because that's a major part of who Bridge City is. That's literally what our Sunday sessions are kind of dedicated to. So, our community development conversations foster a space for discussing important social issues and exploring actionable solutions. These discussions are designed to inspire critical thinking, collaboration, and a sense of collective responsibility, empowering individuals to make meaningful contributions to their communities and beyond. And one of the things that I love about the way we treat our Sunday sessions is that they're not lectures; they are conversations. Every now and then, they will feature just one person leading the conversation, but typically, we've kind of built out a pattern of it always being at least two voices. And so lately, that's been my wife and I on our Sundays. So that way, there's so much more value that can be brought to the conversation. But then also we're gonna be doing a live call-in show with the ex-pastor. Like, whoa. And so this is going to give you a chance. This is going to give everybody the chance to hear directly from individuals who have walked away from religion and now share their unique perspectives on faith, belief, and the human experience. You'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to challenge assumptions and engage in a conversation that expands your understanding of religious spirituality or any other form of supernaturalism, while also understanding secularism and humanism. This is an opportunity to gain clarity and hear from those who've experienced both sides of the religious journey. And what I typically find to be incredibly healing about the call-in show with the ex-pastor, and by this moment, we've had over 6 different ex-pastors on our show, and in every single one of them have a tender spot in their heart for people who, number one, for people, period, but especially for people who are deconstructing, and people who have deconverted but still have some questions that they're struggling with or some experiences that they're struggling with. And so some of you got 99 problems and deconstruction isn't one, but there may be just some things that you still are curious about. There's some blind spots that you want some insight to. These sessions are going to be perfect for that. And then a major part of this, because we're doing these events, is festivities, food, and fun for all ages. Now, this part, all ages, is absolutely appropriate, and it is a part of the goal. That is one of the reasons why we want to do our first one the weekend of April the 20th, because in the Western Christian world, that is Easter. And we definitely want to have a we want to have as much I don't. I was looking for a better word than extravagant. I think animated, but extravagant seems better than animated. But we want to make sure we have some extravagant festivities for people who have children, and then also for people who just like the magic of spring or the beauty of spring, the color of spring. This is a great opportunity for us to create new traditions that are based in actually understanding the seasons we celebrate, as opposed to just throwing some magical figures on the top of it. Like we can make learning about the seasons fun. Like I don't understand. I mean, it's fun to me. Like I want to continue to live on this planet, so I would like to know more. But no, like we definitely want to make these things fun. So we believe in creating an inclusive space where everyone, no matter what their age, can have fun and connect. Because hey, that's how you build community. Community isn't just for grown-ups, right? That's very important. I well, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox right now. But from family friendly activities to delicious food and entertainment, our events are designed to bring joy and build lasting relationships. Whether you're there for the games, the food, or just to meet new people, you will leave feeling more connected and supported by the community around you, because that will be our intentional outcome. That will be an intentional outcome that we'll be investing ourselves in. And so there really will, our goal will be to have something for people of all ages. There will be card games. There will be, I forgot what you call like casino type games, but just table games. That's what we'll say. There will be table games, which include card games. But then there'll also be physical activities such as volleyball, kickball. There'll be some opportunities to get some yoga in, to get some stretching and some, get your downward dog in or whatnot. There'll be, because here's the thing, this is why I, am a fan of community. Community allows us to be holistic in our approach. It allows us to say, okay, instead of just doing one thing, how can we create things that is mindful of as the full spectrum of the human experience? And that's what a community is. A community is experimenting with creating solutions that meet and for lack of better words, oh no, there it is, cater to, I was going to say minister to, but that cater to the needs, all of the needs that exist on the spectrum of human experience. And so we want to make sure we're kind of modeling that at these events, right? So why are we doing this? All right. So in a time when division and uncertainty are at an all-time high, we need more than just community. We need spaces that are safe, that are soft, that are sound, and that are secure. Community isn't just catalyst for change; it is the change. You know, and so by coming together, we can create a safer, more supportive world for everyone in all of the ways that it matters. And if we're really invested in this, and again, this isn't just about getting you to support Bridge City. It's not just about getting you to support Bridge City weekends. That would be great. We would love for you to register today if you're going to be there. We'd love for you to support financially. That's just one of the goals. But if you decide, hey, I don't want to do Bridge City, I don't want to do anything like that, but I want to do something. And so I'm just going to start something in my city today, and you don't tell us anything about it, man, I'd still be just as happy, because that's the fucking goal. At the end of the day, is to get more communities started, because communities can make a tangible difference in many of the ways that matter. And right now, we need this not yesterday, but we needed this last year. We needed this 10 years ago, it likely would have changed the status of the recent election. All right, that's all I'm gonna say about that. All right, so what I want to kind of close with, and I say close, but these are going to be a few things in this, is I want to share with you something that our community has already been made privy to, and we have it as a helpful ebook. If I get the bandwidth, I'll try to add it to this description. I do have a lot of meetings today, and we're working on our QBR. But I want to tell you why I view, or give you some things to tell you why I view community as a solution. Just give you some things to chew on. And so the first one is, there is the power of personal growth within community cannot be overstated. Personal growth is a journey best traveled with others. Within a community, individuals find support, encouragement, and accountability that propel them toward their goals. Communities provide a safety net where members can share their struggles and their successes. And in a community where everyone's journey is respected, we're able to uplift each other, not out of obligation, but out of genuine support. And pure encouragement boosts confidence and resilience. And there are a lot of people right now who are struggling in these areas. But there's also, just in this, there's the access to collective knowledge, skills, and experiences, which helps to accelerate learning. There are mentorship opportunities that exist within community that arise naturally just within supportive groups. There is exposure to different viewpoints, which fosters critical thinking and helps to undergird empathy, if you will. And then there's also even challenging conversations that help to promote self reflection and growth. And all of these things are needed for personal growth. And so, just from a practical aspect, I mean, these things can look like anything. They could look like workshops and seminars where we organize events focused on personal development topics like goal setting or time management or emotional intelligence, or surviving in capitalism, right? But then also mentorship programs where we pair experienced mentor members, in a slew of fields with those seeking guidance in specific areas. But then also accountability groups, form small groups where members can share their goals and track their progress together. That's one of the many ways that community is a solution. But then also communities give us this aspect of social learning. Communities are fertile ground for exploration and education. Through interactions with others, we expand our understanding of the world and ourselves. So, learning about different cultures and traditions, which helps to broaden our horizons and foster inclusivity. But then we also have these collaborative environments that stimulate creativity and innovation, which puts us in a place of idea generation and creating hubs of innovation. And then continuous education keeps the mind active and adaptable to change, which creates its own form of mental resilience and emotional resilience. And so the practical aspects of these, I mean, this can look like anything from discussion groups where we're hosting regular meetings to explore topics of interest or current events, which groups are a major part of the way Bridge City models itself. It's like groups on groups on groups. But then there's also educational events, and they can be targeted to different age groups. And I do think we need to target more educational events towards those people who are currently in the throngs of education. And there are ways that we can do that. I've always said we don't have to slap the big A on everything that we do, So there are ways that we can create events that are not offensive, if you will, that are inspiring education and lifelong learning. We can organize lectures, book clubs, get speaker sessions, but even science fairs, math fairs, hackathons. There are so many things that we can do. And I think sometimes we fail to think of the things that we can do is because we're so busy thinking about the things which failed instead of asking ourselves, well, why did they fail and what could work? Because we do need more people looking for what could work. But also in the aspect, there's a role of arts in community. Arts and entertainment bring people together, fostering connections through shared experiences and expressions. So there's the emotional expression, which provides outlets. So music provides outlets for expressing emotions and telling stories. Shared artistic endeavors strengthen communal bonds and identities. And then, participation in the arts actually reduces stress and enhances happiness, right? So, together through creative expression, we can heal, grow, and connect in ways that transcend the limitations of traditional religious systems or belief systems. And so, and again, I mean, this could look like artistic workshops, community performances, which that's a major part of the Bridge City modality, and even art exhibitions where you showcase local artists' work in community spaces. I think you've heard it in some of my music, and you've definitely heard it in some of my conversations. Community creates opportunity. I'm unapologetically, unashamedly about making that clear to people that the less we're working together purposefully, the less we're coming together. That's opportunity we're robbing each other of. You know, opportunity increases the more that we're working together. That's what community does. Which brings me to my next one is like you can build professional capacity through community. So communities offer rich opportunities for developing professional skills and fostering teamwork. You know, members can learn from each other's expertise through skill sharing. Connections made can lead to career advancements or collaborations, through networking opportunities. And then community projects provide practical experience in teamwork and leadership. And so again, volunteer projects, skill building workshops where you offer training sessions on topics like leadership, communication, and project management, which is a major part of what we're doing. We're doing our best to make sure that all of our BridgeCity Weekends events are going to be absolutely free. Within those events, and then between some of those events, we're also planning on whew, trying to find a way to integrate some events for people to get some real training sessions, because there are plenty of people out there that says, no, I'd absolutely love to be involved in the work of community, but I don't have any access to any training. Don't you worry, help is on the way. Bridge City is coming. You know, so there's just plenty of ways. But then there's also the strength of collective effort, which again is something that cannot be overstated. By pooling resources and efforts, communities can achieve economic goals that benefit all the members of the communities. And so shared assets reduce individual costs and increase efficiency through resource sharing. Joint ventures can generate income and provide services through community projects. And then you could even in our work with local communities encourage local businesses, and strengthen the community's economic base. So these things can become cyclical and pour into each other, which is why I do a lot of work to try to help people see like how things work together. We're really good at seeing how things fall apart. But what's going to help you the most is start understanding how things come together, how things work together. That was one of my fascinations as a child, was taking things apart and then putting them back together to understand how they work. I didn't do that with living things, by the way, just to make that clear. But I did that with a lot of toys, a lot of toys, and my bicycle. Got in a fight with my dad over it. It was weird. But when you start thinking about things on this, I mean, this could look like anything from community gardens, cooperative businesses, time banks. The big point here is that by pooling our resources and our efforts, we can achieve more together. Each volunteer hour, each donation, and each person who joins our mission helps create a powerful, lasting impact. And then also, I like to remind people that community is the heart of transformation. Communities are the core from which meaningful change radiates, acting as a catalyst for societal improvement. Unified communities can advocate effectively for policies and reforms. This is like, honestly, this is the biggest thing that bothered me about the way politicians dealt with the Black community, and the way politicians are now dealing. I see a lot of the same stuff in the secular community. Is that yes, voting matters, but voting as an individual is not playing the game right. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the power of community. You advocating as an individual, that's nice, that's cute, that's even honorable, but it's not very effective. And so, even much of the conversation, even from the secular community, has only been advocating individuals to get involved as individuals, as opposed to creating collective voices. You know what I'm saying? And that's when a vote becomes powerful. That's how a vote becomes a party. When the vote is not just a cluster of individuals, but when the vote is a collective voice. But anyway, that's the power of communities. Communities allow you to effectively advocate for policies and reform. Collaborative environments foster individual solutions to local issues. So even while you're advocating for reform, you can go ahead and start implementing reform on your own. That's the power of community. You know, Strong communities provide the foundation for resilience and adaptation, you know, which we talked about in the first episode of our Sunday sessions on Fuckwithable and the Crown Me one. Oh, we snapped in that one. If you ain't seen it, I don't know what to tell you. You need to go check that shit out. Um, And so, and then, so the big point is we can all play a pivotal role in harnessing the power of community to address personal, social, and economic challenges by focusing on personal growth, social exploration, and arts and entertainment, professional development, collective economics, and, and being catalyst of change instead of waiting for someone else to do it. If we can put that focus on ourselves, we can create a holistic approach that uplifts individuals and transforms societies. Key takeaways from today's conversation is together we can, which is one of my favorite phrases, but together we can achieve more than we ever could alone. That is the power of collective strength, i.e., community. Community involvement empowers individuals to explore, reach, and define their full potential. And then lasting impacts are made when communities unite towards common goals. You know, your dedication to promoting and building community as a solution is instrumental in helping us realize our mission by fostering environments where people can grow, learn, create, collaborate, and advocate. You're building bridges to better outcomes for everyone involved. That's why Bridge City Weekends is important to me. And that's why I think it matters to all of us who are interested in being proactive and making a difference in human affairs. The success of Bridge City Weekends relies on each of us, our passion, our time, and our commitment to make the world a better place. If you're ready to join the movement, to create community where people come before dogma, and to see real change happen, we need you now, not tomorrow, now. Hell, we might have needed you yesterday, but we need you. You're what's going to make the difference. You're what's already making the difference. And I hope that I've said something today that helps you realize not only how valuable this mission is, but how valuable you are in the mission. And so, again, in whatever way you can get involved, do so. Register today, volunteer, donate, whatever it is. Let's make this vision a reality together. And I think I can leave it there. So if you haven't already, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that alert notification button, bell button, same thing. Consider joining, connecting, or supporting with this community channel or content in any way that makes sense for you. And then, of course, share this video with somebody so we can get this message out far and wide. And last but not least, check out our merch and check out our books, because that is some of the easiest ways that you can support this mission while getting something out of it for yourself. I love you all. Thank you for giving me the privilege of being able to have these conversations with you. And until next time, keep rising, stay progressive, and stay absolutely beautiful. I'll holler at you later.